Rob Vaughn. Also, we have Matthew Heiberger out of Birmingham, Alabama. He's a sophomore, as well as Brennen Norton, a senior out of Coleman, Alabama. We'll start first with Coach Vaughn. Just an opening statement, then we'll open up for some questions.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good baseball game, and they came out early and kind of threw a haymaker first, and we kind of settled in. Q competed his absolute tail off for us and gave us a chance, man. Held them at bay and gave us a chance, and we clawed our way back into it. And you saw kind of the grit and the fight of these guys, man. They're down 2 outs, nobody on, with Walters on the mound, and just wasn't at bat by Fowler, just fouling off pitches, grinding out at bats, finds a way on. Braun gets hit by a pitch, and man, I just knew that ball was out off Cade's bat, and it just wasn't. It was a foot short, and that's this game. I thought AJ Siskar was absolutely unbelievable. I mean, it was all strikes, it was mixed. He was able to kind of weather that storm there in the fourth, and kind of keep turning in zeros after that. Just really well executed, and it's a pitch here, it's a mistake here, it's a freebie there, and you hate sitting in this side of it, but I told our guys at the end of the day now, the only thing that matters is get to Sunday. Get to Sunday. You start thinking about how many games you have to win and start doing that, we might as well not show up to the yard tomorrow, because we're either going to play a really good Southern Miss team or a really good Columbia team. So all that matters is us showing up to the yard with a lot of mentality and fight to stay together and get to Sunday, and we'll figure out Sunday when we get there. But I love these kids. I'm proud as heck of their fight. We're about a foot short today, and that's a hard one to swallow. And Cade Snell deserved that thing to blow about a foot further, and it just didn't. And that's this game. So love these kids, proud of them, and I know they'll be ready to rock tomorrow.
All right, thank you, Coach. We'll open it up to questions here, and if you need the mic, just please let me know as well.
Coach, there in that eighth inning with Miami going to Rob Evans, was there any thought to maybe bringing in somebody off the bench to bat there?
Yeah, there's a thought of it, but lefties are actually better off him, and that he just executed pitches to Brady, just really, really good pitches. I mean, threw a slider away, he was able to take, dotted up 2 heaters, and threw a really good slider late. Like, you're hoping one of those backs up. But so much of this, I know, so we look at it, and, the common baseball logic is, hey, a left-handed arm, bring a right-handed hitter in. But the splits on him tell you it's kind of reverse splits. Lefties actually are better against him. So on the report, we felt like Brady was a good matchup and just executed pitches on him right there.
Coach, with Riley not pitching in 2 weeks, did the delay have anything to go into the first inning start?
I don't think so. Just didn't find the zone, walked the leadoff guy. And then this guy puts a good swing on it. And, Bryce gives us good effort. And I think he would tell you probably 100 times out of 100 it hits in his glove. He's got to catch it. And unfortunately, he didn't. And then gets Cuvée in a 2-strike count. I mean, Cuvée a really good player. And, he executed a slider. It was a ball off, just wasn't quite far enough off, and he puts a great swing on it. But the story of it was he stopped it there. That's what was big on it. So I don't think it had anything to do with it. It's hot. He's a big boy. He competed his tail off. He did what I knew Riley Quick would do for us, and he pitched good enough for us to win this thing. We just couldn't quite get that big hit.
Coach, Miami hit a couple home runs out to right field early. That ball by Snell, did you notice that the conditions maybe had changed, the wind or whatever? What did you pick up on?
No, I mean, I knew he was on time and he got it. I knew I've been here before. I knew that's a deep part of the park, and so I honestly thought he got enough of it. Riley was bear hugging me. He was picking me off the ground, and he thought he got enough of it. And you can usually tell by the outfielders and how they're going. And I could see that guy was feeling like he was going to get to it. We needed one more foot, man. We needed one more foot, or we needed him to pull it another 10 feet. But he can't control any of that. He was on time. He took a great swing off a really good arm and just came up a tick short.
And with Cuvée in the first inning there, I mean, obviously that's the guy regarded as their best hitter. You got ahead of him. Was that just missing a spot, or what happened?
Yeah, it was a chase slider. That was called kind of a chase slider, and it was off, but it was about a ball off, and Cuvée can still handle that, and so. It wasn't a terrible pitch. Was not a terrible pitch. It just needed to be a tick more. You circle that guy. I mean, there's some good players in that lineup, but you circle that guy as the guy you don't want to beat you. And there in the first, you're not too. Even with the 3 spot, I wasn't concerned whatsoever about the outcome of that game. I'd have loved for that slider to be a tick better, but it wasn't a terrible pitch. Just needed to be a little bit more chase, and he didn't miss it.
Coach, what do you think about your team's approach at the plate and the way they approach Siskar today?
He's just good, man. Like, I was waiting to hear their starters, and it's not a knock on anybody else on that staff, but I knew he was going to be a bear. I talked to a lot of my buddies in the ACC, and And they asked who's throwing. I told them Siskar, and they're like, oh, boy. Like, he's good. He had one really – not even a bad outing, but a tough outing against Virginia. Outside of that, the guy's been pretty dominant. And it's all strikes. He does a really good job of kind of bringing that two-seam back away from righties, which is a little bit different from a low-slot guy, and then runs the slider off of it. I thought he was awesome. I mean, I looked up at one point, and it was like he had thrown like 3 balls, and so you go in there, and it's like, hey, if you move early in the count, there's not a lot to hit. And if you move late in the count, you're going to be in a 2-strike count all night. So you got to credit him for executing pitches. And we set that 4th up and punched 3 across. And for a young pup, man, the maturity to come back and hang some zeros after that is really impressive. That guy's going to be a really good arm in college baseball, and he was great today.
Question for Brennen. When Fowler had that long at bat, what does that do for the hitters, next guys up, to see him battling like he did in situation?
Well, it gives us obviously more pitches to see. Like, I was just talking to Bronny on deck about it and kind of what he was throwing and whatnot. But, I mean, also it just gives us life. Like, if he's up there battling his tail off, then that gives us life. And even with 2 outs in the bottom of the 9th, like, we still had it almost in our hand. So I think having a long at-bat like that just, like, gives us more energy, more life.
Matthew, how do you go about just keeping your head on your shoulders, knowing that this is only day 1 of this regional and your team still has a bullpen to protect, and that falls on you today after Q's performance?
That fires me up. I can't wait to see those guys go out there and compete their tail off. I mean, those guys are always going to go out, give it the best, and, yeah, I'm fired up for those guys to get out there.
Brennen, how was that 2-out double? You have it 300 down 3 times.
Yeah, it was big, but it's just I'm still kind of upset that we didn't get the job done. But it's a big hit, but don't really matter because at the end of the day we lost. So we just got to be mature enough to move on and win tomorrow.
Brennen, you talk about, life after, that long, tough at-bat from Fowler. You look at just how fast this car was working through you guys earlier in the game, up until your double. Just, what was the thought process, from you guys in the dugout, not having seen a lot from him, struggling to take you deep into at-bats?
I think we were just kind of struggling to pick it up, to be honest, in the beginning of the game. So I think later we started getting deeper into at-bats and just kind of letting him work and not, like, pressing to try to get a hit. So I think deeper into the game we got more deep into at-bats, and I think that's where we had more success. And then when we'd rush at-bats, that's where we'd not see success. So,
Coach, you talked multiple times about the maturity of this group, but also their ability to respond. Obviously, they've gone down in some series and have been able to punch back. And obviously, this is a time where that skill is more important than ever. What do you anticipate from your team's response on this occasion?
I anticipate a really frustrated ride back to the hotel, and then we're going to take a shower, and we're going to take our laundry down to the meeting room, and we're going to eat dinner, and from dinner on, we're done. We're not thinking about today. We are not dwelling on today. We are going to probably watch a game tonight, figure out who we're playing. You got 2 good teams. This is not this regional. I mean, you look at it, it's 4 really good teams, so whether we're playing Southern Miss and have Middleton tomorrow, or whether we're playing Columbia, you're going to have a dogfight on your hands tomorrow. So I trust that this group, I think the big thing, you can't act like this isn't disappointing. Like, let's just call it what it is. It's one thing, I think, when you come out and you get your tail kicked. These hurt worse. It hurts worse when you hit a ball a foot from the fence that walks it off, and instead Miami's in here having this first meeting and they're feeling like they just lost it, and we're in here throwing water all over the place excited. Like, that's the game of baseball. There's a foot is the difference in this game at times. And shoot, there was some good about. I mean, Hodo smashes a ball. Cuvée makes a stupid good play on a backhand dive. Like, that's the game. Like, those are the games. That's like the margin between winning and losing is so small. So I want these guys to be ticked off. Like, I don't want us to be sitting in the bus high-fiving like, this sucks. Like, nobody wants to be sitting here. But we're also mature enough to go take a shower, to go wash this off. And the thing that's so fun about this group is their mentality and who they are. How they show up every day is so impressive. And I have zero doubt that we will roll out here tomorrow, and regardless of who we're playing, there will be no hangover from today, and that's all you can ask for them. That's what a neutral mindset is. Let's go to the facts. Facts are we lost. That sucks. But let's be mature enough to say it has no bearing on tomorrow unless we let it. Last year, we lost a game like this to UCF, a back-and-forth game, lose by 1, and we had a hangover the next day. We weren't great against Stetson the next day. This is our opportunity to be different, and this group has been different all year. I'm so dang proud of these kids and how they fight, and I have zero doubt we'll show up ready to go tomorrow.
All right, we have time for one more question. No more questions? All right, that will conclude today's post-game press conference. Matthew, Brennen, and Coach Vaughn, thank you guys so much, and best of luck tomorrow.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you guys.